Sir Joshua Khumlianlal is a microbiologist and he completed BSc microbiology specialization from Northeastern Hill University in the year 2013. And he completed his Master of Science from Microbiology from Bangalore University in the year 2015. Currently, he is a PhD ZRF research scholar from IBSD Imphal, Manipur, under Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, under KIIT, Kalinga Institute of Technology, Bhubaneswar, Odisha. Currently working on wall edible mushroom of Manipur, and he also published national papers and attended many international and national seminar, etc. He will be delivering a lecture on the topic mushroom, the gold mine of functional components and bioactive compounds for modern medicine. Over to you, sir. Joshua.
Okay, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yeah, it's from my side, it's audible.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Ramon, for the introduction. And privilege. It's a privilege for me to be here to be presenting along with a renowned speaker and then scientist. And then today, my topic is on mushroom, the gold mine of functional components and bioactive compound for modern medicine. Okay, I'll not take so long. And then since you guys have been here for an hour, and it's so I'll not keep you hanging on for any longer. And then since the audience I'm focusing on the BSc to Transport College students, so I'll not go very deep into technical. So I'll be just focusing on overview of mushroom as a modern medicine. First of all, we'll look into where we are living. So Northeast, we are living in Northeast, and then if you look into this picture here, then you can see that this is the biological richness map of the Northeast, and then in Imphal, if you can see this in a light green, which means it is a highly rich biological region. And then since Northeast is situated in the Indo-China, Indo-Bangladeshi, and the Indo-Myanmar, and in the foothill of this Himalayan mountain. So we have a wide range of climates, and because of the altitude variation, we have a very rich biodiversity. That is the flora and fauna, and it is one of the biological hotspot. And then when we look into Manipur, we have 16 districts, and the geographical area is around 22,327 square kilometer, and out of that 9/10 is composed of constitute the hill, which means more hill means more richness in biological richness. So which means you can from here you can know that we are very rich biologically. And here okay, now we'll go into mushroom. It's we all know what is mushroom, right? It's and we eat mushroom, we know mushroom. And then this, especially this year in Trichanpur, many of them I have found in Facebook and other social media that many of them went for mushroom hunting. And yeah, what is mushroom? It is the reproductive structure of fungi. So you know what is fungi as a biological student. uh, to be to say it in simple term, when you keep your bread at your home for a long time, molds started appearing on your bread. So they are the type of mold, even molds are a type of fungus. So it's kind of the same fungus. And then under the classification, five kingdom classification by this Robert Whittaker, fungus are kept in a separate kingdom. And then this fungus, they are different from other kingdom in the way, suppose animalia, that means our animal. We on our food source, we eat and we digest food inside our stomach. And plants, they synthesize by the process of photosynthesis, they can synthesize their own food. But this fungus, they excrete their enzymes in the environment, and then they digest they ingest the already digested food or nutrient. So mushroom, it's the morphology is it have a cap, and then it have and the stipe, it have annulus, and then vulva. Not all mushroom are the same, but this is a general presentation of the mushroom. And then their life cycle is they are in the spore form, and then in the mycelium form, and in the mushroom form. The mushroom form is also called as the fruiting body, and the main purpose of the mushroom is for the reproduction. That means they produce spore. So when these spores are when the mushroom produces spores, they are blown by the wind or some other factor, and then when these spores when they set on the suitable environment, they germinate, and then they form hyphae, and this hyphae they form a mycelium, and in the mycelium they form a mushroom. And the purpose of this mushroom is for the reproduction. Okay, so this is a little brief on what is mushroom and what are the different stages of life it have. So this is the first picture is the mushroom, and then below the substrate, below the ground, the mycelium is there. So the network of mycelium. So this is what mushroom really is. The one that we see is the only mushroom, but below what we don't see, there is a mycelium. There is a network of mycelium which we do not see, and below that is a mycelium which is observed in the lab or cultured in the lab. This is cultured by me, and then out of this here in the next picture we see that the mycelium under the microscope. This is I have taken this mycelium from internet. It is the mycelium of psilocybe cubensis. I think many of you might have known this because I have received lots of questions regarding this mushroom, because uh, it is also called as magic mushroom, and people use it for people can get high, and then they use it for drugs sometimes. And then in 2018, according to the outsourcing pharma, they published that the FDA, that is Food and Drug Administration, that they have approved that this mushroom, psilocybin is the compound they extract from this particular magic mushroom, and that is used for a treatment of depression. So they have accepted it. And then, so why I'm keeping this is because to show you that the compound extracted from mushroom, they have therapeutic property, which some of which are accepted by or approved by the FDA, which some are not. So mushroom are so looking at the topic, mushroom are the gold mine for different functional properties. And then why mushroom? So I already told you that mushroom can be in the form of fungus, in the form of the fruiting body, that is the mushroom itself, and sometimes it can be in the form of the spore, and sometimes it can be in the form of the mycelium. So when it is in the form of the mycelium, it is also known as fungus. Of course, overall it is a fungus, but usually fungus are in the form of mycelium. So why mycelium and fungus? So the first antibiotic you might have noted is penicillin. It is discovered by Alexander Fleming. He's also known as the okay, before we go there, let me go back once. Yeah, uh, they they pop up, and then within a few days they disappear. But the mycelium, they have been there in the ground for more than 1 or 2 years. They have been there in the ground for many years, and then that's the reason why mushroom, especially this terminomyces, that what we call in Paite, Papak or Patung, they pop up in the same place every year. So that is the reason why a particular place, a mushroom pop up every year. So going back to the antibiotic penicillin. So the penicillin, this Alexander Fleming, he's also known as the careless technician or careless researcher, because how he discovered was he was working in the lab, working on Staph aureus, Staphylococcus, and then he went on for 2 weeks vacation, and then when he went back, uh, there was contamination in his petri plates, and then there was mold growing, that is the Penicillium carcinum. So when he observed the plate, he found that the mold have inhibited the growth of the Staphylococcus. And then after examining that, they found they can extract the compound, and then that's how penicillin was found. So likewise, there's cephalosporin and some other many compounds which are isolated from or extracted from fungus, which have antibacterial activity, antifungal, and all that, which is an antibiotic. And then in this table, you can see that the last two, lentinin and then Schizophyllum. Schizophyllum this lentinella species and Schizophyllum are mushroom actually, and then Schizophyllum is what we call in Paite pasi. We eat it. It's an edible mushroom. Even Lentinas is a edible mushroom, which we call it shiitake mushroom, which is a very expensive mushroom, and it's have a lot of medicinal properties. So from this Pasi, that is phylum commune, they can isolate the extract Caesophyllan, which has antibacterial activity against some bacteria, Staphylococcus. And so mushroom, this is to support my main point on why mushroom is the uh, gold mine for modern medicine. Okay, and there this edible mushroom, they have antioxidant property, antimicrobial property, anti-diabetic, anti-hypersensitive, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, etc. And there are lots of products which they have produced. Many of them are nutraceutical, not pharmaceuticals, and one which are produced in India are approved by the FSSAI as a nutraceuticals. And then not only the edible mushroom, even the non-edible mushroom, they have lots of bioactive compound which have medicinal properties. Okay, and then we'll just go through some of the health benefit of mushroom. Why it is beneficial is because of it contain protein, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and it has very less content of these fats. And as we all know, vitamins are organic compound that are essential for to sustain life, and we need vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, all those things, and they have their different purpose and different roles in our life. So this every mushroom have different properties. So they have all this content, and as you know, protein is the building blocks of our body. And then looking at the minerals, we need minerals in a trace amount for our proper functioning. And so that's why overall mushroom is very beneficial to consume, edible mushroom. And antioxidant, as we all know, even if you drink green tea, you will see rich in antioxidant or something like that. So antioxidant, they are the chemicals which eliminate the free radicals in our body, and these free radicals are the byproduct of this our metabolism or other biological process. And when they are accumulated in a large amount, they can cause cell damage, which can even lead to cancer or some other uh, health problem. So according to the National Cancer Institution, this antioxidant content in mushroom, they help prevent lungs, prostate, breast, and other type of cancer. Okay, and diabetes. This mushroom, they are rich in fiber. As you consume mushroom, you can know that it has a rich in fiber, and then it has a good flavor too. And then these fibers, it help according to the research review study on meiosis that was conducted by the Department of Basic Science, National University of Health Science, Lombard, Illinois. They have they have found that those who have a lot of fiber intake, they have lower risk of type 2 diabetes. And since this mushroom can provide that fiber, once again, it is a very good food for those who are obese or those who have hypersensitivity, hypertension, or even those diabetic. Okay, and because it is a low calorie food, it can reduce the blood sugar level as well. So for the heart health, so it contains fiber, as we already know, and the potassium content, and the vitamin C in mushroom contribute to the cardiovascular health, because potassium, it can regulate your blood pressure. Okay, so that's why it is very good for those who are having high BP. And then because of the beta glucan which occur in the cell wall of many mushroom, especially this is shiitake mushroom, which is edible, and it is very expensive as well. And then cell wall contains this beta glucan. So that beta glucan is a good, it can lower the blood pressure, and then it have many other uh, therapeutic purpose in the human body. So here are some nutritional content which I took it from Medical News Today on last year, November 6, 2019. So as we know, this mushroom, it contains a lot of these minerals and all these vitamins. So that is the overall reason why mushroom is a very nutritive food for every year. Okay, apart from those nutritional properties, we'll look into the bioactive compounds. So we all know what is secondary metabolites, I guess, because we are from biological background. So as you know, its organisms are interacting among each other. I think you will know that virus virus now, virus it infect human, so it can infect animals, it can infect plants, and it can even infect bacteria. Okay, so the first virus which was discovered was tobacco mosaic virus. It infect tobacco plants. So it can even infect bacteria. So that's why these organisms, even plants, bacteria, they produce secondary metabolites to protect themselves against this infection. Even bacteria, they produce bacteriocin, which is a protein to defend themselves against another bacteria of the close species. So, so it's bacteria, it's organism, they produce these metabolites to protect themselves against these other infections from other organisms. So that's why these secondary metabolites, they are not the primary metabolites for which is important for the normal growth or development or reproduction of organism, but they are for the basically for the survival. That means to defend themselves. And then that's the reason why, since it can defend the bacteria against some other organisms, we human being can extract that and we can use it to defend against some other pathogenic bacteria or fungus or even virus. So that is the main principle on why secondary metabolites are the uh, important factor for this natural antibiotic or natural antibacterial source. Okay, here are some of the bioactive compounds which are present in mushroom. So I have put a picture of some of the mushroom which we found it in Manipur, and this Ganoderma phaeiferi. I went to Swangdo village last year for collection, and then the villager they told me that this Ganoderma phaeiferi, they have the villagers they use it when there is any boils or there's any uh, wounds, they burn this mushroom and then the ashes they put in the wound area to help it, and then they said that it help fasten the recovery, and then it prevent it from forming pus or other unwanted infection. So even from not only in the scientific worldview, but even from the traditional, people have used mushroom in different ways against different infection. Okay, this is a experiment performed by me. This is only a preliminary work, and this the first picture is called Pasialek in Paite, and the second picture is called Pamoa. Okay, the first its scientific name is Macroliopeta procera. We'll just term it as Pasialek, and here I have used this. I have extracted the compound from this Pasialek. I have the extraction, and then I have tested against these pathogens, which are obtained from ATCC. And then here ampicillin is used as a standard. And then, so here we found that many of the Pasialek extract have better result than even the antibiotic which are used for the standard. And even the Tramitis versicolor and as well as the Pamoa have shown some activities better than the uh, antibiotic. So here I took the three Pasialek, Pamoa, and then Tramitis versicolor, and then I have tested against this bacteria, and then I have observed that this Pasialek extract they have broad spectrum antibiotic, broad spectrum activity against both gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria, comparing to the ampicillin. Uh, and then, so further, this will be analyzed to extract the compound, what is or the peptide which is responsible for this activity. So that is another my further research which is going on. And here, medicinal mushroom in cancer treatment. I took this information from the National Cancer Center, National Cancer Institute, Maryland, USA. Here, this medicinal mushroom, they have been used for 30 years they have been approved by Japanese and Chinese government for 30 years for the treatment of cancer. It can be used alone or it can be used along with the primary treatment, that is the radiation, and then the chemotherapy. So the main reason why the main compound that they found is the polysaccharide K. from this turkey tail mushroom. It is a very common mushroom which we found it in Chuchanpur also. And then uh, what they found is that this polysaccharide K, it is a it contains beta glucan. So many research have been going on how this act on the how this helps treatment of cancer, and most what they found is that it helps in the it strengthens the immune system. Uh, and there are some products which are already available for this mushroom as well. And let's look at the gastric cancer. The study has shown that this PSK, they use it as adjuvant therapy. Adjuvant therapy means it is used along with the primary treatment. That is, someone with a cancer, they can undergo chemotherapy or radiation, and along with that treatment, they give this PSK from the turkey tail, and then with gastric cancer patient, and then they found out that the since if someone undergoes chemotherapy, the even the normal cells are damaged. So this they found out that this PSK they they repair the immune cell which are damaged by the therapy, and then it strengthens the immune system. And in breast cancer cell, that is the study is sponsored by the National Health Institute of Health, and then this compound, it is the PSK from turkey tail. This given to the breast cancer patient following radiation therapy. So they have found that this it increases the natural killer cells and other cancer fighting cells in the immune system. And even for rectal cancer, they have studied at stage 1 and stage 2 rectal cancer patient, and then they give to some patient they give the PSK, and to some they didn't give the PSK. So what they found is that the person whom they give the PSK treatment PSK, they have the increased number of cancer killing immune cells and the anti-cancer effect in the tissue than those which are not given the PSK. So, and in a review research, and they also have found that to the patient which whom they have given PSK, they have likely to recurrent the cancer after a few years. So this is some of the effect that mushroom have on the cancer treatment. Okay, here is a very fresh or current issue, which is paper which is published on April 10, 2020, and as you see the paper, natural bioactive compound from fungus, a potential candidate for protease inhibition and immunomodulator to apply for coronavirus. Okay, here, especially when virus infect any cells, they undergo penetration. That is, they inject the DNA into or the RNA into the host cell, and then it integrates with the host DNA, and then they multiply, and then nucleic acid is synthesized and multiply, and then they form a new viral particle, and then it is released to the outside environment. So that is a general pattern for viral infection. And then here, till today, most of the antiviral compound, how they work is that the mode of the site of action is at the entry or the fusion inhibition, or the inhibition of viral uncoating, or nucleoside and non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibition, or the protease inhibition, or the inhibition of viral release. So here they are interested in the protease inhibition. Okay, this viral protease, they are important for the viral replication, transcription, and all this new viral formation. So here, for any antiviral drugs, they mainly target the viral protease inhibition. So till today, the protease inhibition drugs for HIV-1 protease is available for human clinical treatment. And here, okay, protease. As we already mentioned, that protease enzyme is the main target. So in the study in this coronavirus, they have found that this papain-like protease PL-PRO and the chymotrypsin-like protease 3CL-PRO. So these two are found, and these two are found, and this it is found that, and it is approved by the FDA that the protease inhibitor of HIV-1, that is typranacin, ritonavir, etc., they can inhibit or destabilize this 3CL protein, which is also found in coronavirus. So because of that, scientists have believed that this protease inhibitor that can inhibit the HIV virus can also inhibit the uh, protein from the coronavirus. So that's why a study has been going on. Because in any antiviral uh, research, they mainly target the protease enzyme, because this protease enzyme is necessary for the replication, transcription, and the maturation of the range of virus. Okay, so we have to identify the inhibitory target of this protease. So these protease inhibitor, they selectively bind to the virus protease, and they block the proteolytic cleavage of the protein precursor. So in this coronavirus, they have found that they have found these two protease. That is, the number one is the papain-like protease PL Pro, and the second one is a 3-chymotrypsin-like protease, that is 3CL Pro. And this 3CL Pro is the main target for any antiviral uh, agent. So and scientists have found that the HIV-1 protease inhibitor, they can inhibit this 3CL Pro of the coronavirus, and it has been approved by the FDA. And it has been found and reported that it can deactivate the 3CL Pro, this protease inhibitor found for the present protease inhibitor found for the HIV-1. So they can have the same action on coronavirus. So that's why in this paper they have mentioned that it has a uh, very promising result, and then it is, in the future they can, maybe they can find a new protease inhibitor for this coronavirus as well too. And then since the current antiviral agents, some of them have adverse effect on the human body, so scientists are looking for agents from the biological natural source, that is fungus or mushroom. So that's why in this paper they have listed out some of the fungus and the mushroom which source this which have this protease inhibitor effect. And I'll just mention some of the I'll just show some of the mushroom which is available in Chachanpur as well. And these are some of the mushroom which these are not all, there are many more. And then, but I'll just show these much of mushroom because these are easily available in Chachanpur as well. And then with this I'll conclude my presentation, that God has provided us with lots of natural resources for well-being. And then with the advancement of science, and then with the further research, we can, it is our hope that we can, in future we can find out lots of natural compound from mushroom, and from not only from mushroom, from plants and from bacteria, anything which can for the future well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable speak. We've got many questions from the.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir. So could you please kindly check the chat box?
Hello.
First
See any?
question from
Hmm.
Anil Khongsai. Why some mushroom can be
Hmm.
consumed, why some cannot?
Okay, some mushroom can be consumed and some mushroom cannot be consumed. Is in simple term we can say some are poisonous and some are not non-poisonous. And some are poisonous because it contain this toxin, especially this anamita species. I think even last year there are some cases in Ukrul where grandfather consumed this anamita species. Based on the report from Shanghai Express, looking at the picture, it looks like it's an amanita species. So they contain toxin which is called amanitin, which is a very uh, the most poisonous toxin or the most lethal toxin, which is available, mushroom toxin, and even toxin it differs. Some toxin are very lethal, but some toxins are
Another question from Moi Sai. Can mushroom can be
okay.
grow in any place? If not, why?
Okay. No, no, mushroom cannot grow in any place as we desire because mushroom requires certain nutrients, and its mushroom cannot. Then the nutrients requirement from its mushroom is different. Okay, so suppose terminomyces, which we call is patung in our dialect, they grows near termite. So they have symbiotic relationship with the termites. So that's why it grows on the termite nest actually. And then some other mushroom which grows on wood log because it finds it require nutrients in the wood. So that's why that is the reason why mushroom cannot be grown anywhere.
What about the chemical composition of all mushroom? Are the chemical composition of all mushroom different? And what is the from Nombaite?
Hmm.
What is the ecological significance of this mushroom?
Okay, the chemical composition of all mushrooms are not the same, but it's not the same, but we can say some basic compositions can be similar in most of the mushroom, like terpenoids, flavonoids, and all these phenolic compounds. But in some mushroom it might be higher, in some mushroom it may be lower. So although most of the composition might be the same, but the amount or the quantity in which it is present is different. And the ecological advantage of mushroom is that some mushroom are in symbiotic relationship with some trees. We can also call it mycorrhiza. So the tree provides shelters or some other nutrients to the fungi. The fungi also provide some nutrients to the tree or some other organisms like even with bacteria. So mushroom ecologically, all organisms are important actually. They are interconnected and interrelated. So one organism cannot survive without another organism. So it is important ecologically.
So, how can we differentiate between edible and poisonous mushroom? How to differentiate between those edible and non-edible mushroom or poisonous mushroom?
Okay, it's very difficult to poison us morphologically. It requires lots of experience. I cannot say that this is the hard and fast rule to differentiate edible and poisonous mushroom, but uh, um, for us in the lab, we identify mushroom based on DNA sequencing, ITS sequencing. So it is a molecular technique, but morphologically somehow we can identify it based on our experience and knowledge. And but I cannot. It will depend on your experience and skill also. And from person, you can ask a person who have experience in that.
Another question from Hangnung Liemoy. Is it true that fermented meat or fermented fish can kill or eliminate the poison present in mushroom?
I cannot. Okay. Okay, I have heard that many times, and I have got lots of questions regarding that. And it is not scientifically proven. It might be true, but yeah, it is my interest to find out.
So you can do in future those in your lab, no? You can do some research for that purpose.
It might be true because
Uh,
our parents or our from generation they have been. Yeah, we can do that, but because people have been doing that, yeah, so we can examine in the lab.
okay. Another question from Roslyn Asia. How do you extract the toxin from the mushroom for better efficiency? Have you worked on any new species of mushroom? Can you hear, sir? Is it audible?
Okay, toxin. Okay, it's we call it bioactive compound. You can do extraction from the mushroom. Okay, we'll go back to the question. Uh, the bioactive compound can be extracted in many different ways. First, we can extract it from the mushroom. Okay, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. Because it's because of the internet connection. Okay, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, we'll go back to the answering the question. So the question is, how do we extract the toxin, right?
Yes, from
So
mushroom.
the it's not we don't call it toxin. We call it bioactive compound, or we call it this secondary metabolites. So we have to we can extract the compound from the mushroom body, that is the fruiting body, and we can extract it from the mycelium form also, that is submerged condition. So from the mushroom body, we grind it, or either we can lyophilize it with the help of liquid nitrogen, and then after that we use different solvents, that is methanol, ethanol, ethyl acetate, chloroform, hexane, etc. The list goes on, and with the help of the choice of uh, solvent, we do the extraction procedure, and then we evaporate the solvent, and then we took the extract out of it. And then from the mushroom, from the mycelium, we grow the mycelium in a broth, that is liquid broth media. So after growing it for 14 days, secondary metabolites are excreted in the media. So we filter it with one-man filter paper, and then we extract the media, the broth, that is the liquid broth, along with solvent, with the same procedure that we follow for the mushroom body. So that's how we extract, and then with the help of HPLC or some other chromatography procedure, we can elute out the compound of our interest. So that's how we do.
So from Juliet Kim, what is the name of that particular chemical present in mushroom that is harmful for human beings?
Okay, there are chemicals like which I already mentioned, amanitin, which is very lethal, and then some other chemicals might be which I'm not sure aware, because when we study mushroom poisoning, we mainly focus on the amanitin toxin. So there might be more, but as of today, I will mention only amanitin toxin.
Okay. From Sanju, are there poisonous mushroom which can be used beneficially? Any?
Okay, okay. There will be a lot.
Okay, okay.
There will be lots of poisonous mushroom which can be used beneficially, because uh, when we work in the lab, we are not consuming the mushroom, right?
Mm.
So whether it's poisonous or whether it's non-poisonous, we don't consume it. We extract the compound in the lab. So and it can have different purpose and different applications. So uh, I'm very sure that there will be poisonous mushroom which can be useful for certain infection.
Before we wind up our webinar, I'm really thankful to our young speaker, Dr. Pabyak Sang, Sir Kumbela Hauzel, Sir Joshua Khumlianlal, and dear students and participants. Your spontaneous presence has made today's program really meaningful. And last on the list, will we owe you a lot for being with us in this webinar. Without your active participation, this event would not be possible. And thank you one and all who are virtually present here. Thanks for sharing your valuable time, and please fill up the feedback form to get the e-certificate, which I have already posted in a chat group. So with this announcement, it's high time to leave the platform. All stay safe and stay healthy. Bye, all of you. Thanks a lot.